Hello everybody, and welcome to my next Let's Play, which is Katawa Shoujo. Shoujo? Katawa Shoujo. I seen this game from Chilled, Chaos, serious gamers. So, thought I'd give it a go, see what's good about this game. So let's start. Let's start it. Before you ask, I disabled the nudity. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wind chimes. Okay. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight for teachers and fellow students. Man, I suck at reading today. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit more initiative. Letter in the locker. Letter in the locker. I've never had a locker other than a PE locker, so I think it would have been cool to have lockers. It would have made my high school a lot more interesting, I think. I don't know. Huh. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Stagnant, I like that word. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. Oh, rustling. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Oh shit. Burglar. Hasao? You came? Oh, I definitely came. A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. Oh, that feeling. It's a voice I've listened to 1,000 times, or 100. Okay, let me start this over. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdrop to a conversation. I turn to face the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Holy shit, this is deep. Yeah, is this letter from you? What? Awakano? Iwanko. I got a note telling me to wait here. Is it yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Ah, pathetic. That's my middle name. Yes? That was a terrible voice. I asked my friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. What? My heart is pounding now as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. That's weird. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind steers up the branches. The canopy noise is music to my ears. Iwakano flinches ever so slightly after the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. How cute. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. It is. Wait. You see? I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, safe from my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they're being stretched beyond the breaking point. So? Such a dumb voice. I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arm. So! Holy shit. My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Oh, the music stopped. So! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, and Wakano running towards me. All this fades to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Wakano screaming for help, and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Oh, damn. What the hell happened to me? Four Leaf Studio presents Katawa Shoujo. God. Inspiration, Raida. Writing, Anonymous 22 Aura, some Spike, I think I seen Spike. Editing, Kagami. Loose throat. Excuse me. Oh my god, I thought that said Blink 182. Blue 123. What the hell's that? That right there. What is this? It looks like those creatures that come out of the ocean from the bottom to don't I don't know what I'm talking about. Delta, Rada. Holy crap, that looks really good. This music is very fitting. It's really nice. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. I had a heart attack. In the whole time, I could probably count the times I've left this hospital room, unsupervised, on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you've left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. Strange word. A foreign, alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is it really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. I really didn't do anything to cheer me up. Oh, it really didn't. Sorry about that. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Gross. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatment. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to the nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers is because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Oh God. That always used to happen, like not so much in like high school, but I remember vividly in elementary school this happening a lot. Like somebody would go to the hospital because kids are dumb and play in the street and stuff, but it would always be made into a class project, and that seems so heartless to me. Like there's no emotion unless you do it from like yourself. You do it to your like the person, you want them to know that you're worried about them, and not sending like just oh get well soon. That's like a teacher grading you for that, giving you points for I don't know. It just seems so heartless. Like you have to do it on your own accord. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwakano was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel so uncomfortable. I added so. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and to see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change in its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answers shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I'd be back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hand. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time buried itself. It felt like time buried it into some kind of gluey mess. I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know the day of the week it was. Sorry I'm pausing a lot, it's just I'm catching my breath. But other times, all the things that surround me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while. looking at my ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he was trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. How dumb. That makes me feel... That's uncomfortable. It makes me feel weird when people do that. Be happy for you. Makes me annoyed sometimes. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've seen them. Both of them are sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There's a ritual that the head fuck that word. He takes his time, sorting his papers and setting them aside as if to make a point of his pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to me. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hasao. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you can be fine. You should be fine. We have all the medication sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand, and I take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosage are listed line after line with cold precaution. I tried to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it, attempting to only make me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life. Every day. I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoke with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hasao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't have a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to the other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll, you'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, special school, that's an insult. This is what I want to say. Step down. It's not what you think. All the other students are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of schools have gone to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues is in another hospital as wait. One of my colleagues is in another hospital as a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now that it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, the doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. This is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Well, there's me. Act 1. Life expectancy. How terrible. Well, I think that's it for this part. We'll continue after this. See you guys later.